it's Alyssa in the kitchen, and tonight I have for you a paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free, Whole30 approved, and absolutely delicious meal that you're gonna love. It is roasted spaghetti squash with turkey, meatballs, and tomato sauce. So you might think that you know spaghetti and meatballs, but you don't know till you know this. We're going to cut our spaghetti squash in half lengthwise. All right, this is why I work out. Yeah! We cracked open that sucker. So, the next thing we gotta do is get these seeds out. This is gonna go right in the oven. These go face down because then when they get hot, it steams itself from the inside. You can season these before you put them in the oven, but I season it afterwards, so I don't even do anything to it. It just goes right in at 400 degrees for 45 to 50 minutes. Now that that's in the oven, we are going to head over to our meatballs. I'm gonna start with the aromatics, the garlic and the onion. I'm gonna mince up the garlic really finely. Next, we're gonna do the onion. Oh my God, it's happening. Half of this is for our tomato sauce, and the other half of onion we're gonna grate into the bowl with the 2 cloves of garlic. I don't know if this happens to any of you, but I'm just really sensitive to onion. And so sometimes I just need my friend here. Oh, thank God. Okay, funny story. Every year for Christmas, I would ask my mom for onion goggles. I would go straight to my stocking, and I was so excited to dig in and find these beauties to save my eyeballs, but it was never there. And it actually wasn't until I won these goggles on an Instagram contest. Somebody was giving them away on Instagram, and I wrote in the comments a novel about how badly I needed this in my life, because it is no joke. Like, seriously, like, it's no joke. It's happening, the tears. Well, I'm happy that part's over. You can put this onion garlic mixture straight into your meatball mix, but I like to put it on the stove for a little bit because it just wakens up that flavor. Boom, and it's gonna go on the stove with some olive oil. A good way to know if your oil's ready is that it should be like shimmering just a little bit in the pan, and then you know it's ready. And when you hear that sound, it's like, ah! I'm gonna turn my heat to low, and it's just gonna hang out there for a couple of minutes, and we're gonna prep everything else over here. So the rest of our meatball mixture is 1 egg. You wanna do 1 egg per pound of meat, and you wanna beat it first. 1/4 cup of almond meal, 1 egg, about 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. All right, now I'm gonna add that onion and garlic mixture right in, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and some fresh pepper. Now we're going to add in our ground turkey, and guess what? You can't be afraid to get your hands dirty on this one, because this is how the pros do it. You mix it with your hands. The reason behind that is because when you mix with your hands, you can feel when it's just come together to form the mixture and you aren't overworking the meat. Whenever I make food for my boyfriend, Greg, every time he tastes something, it doesn't matter what it is, I ask him what he thinks, and he just goes, I think it needs hot sauce. So, that being said, I put Frank's Red Hot in like everything. But honestly, he's right, because it's not gonna give it a kick. It's not gonna make this spicy at all, but this is loaded with flavor, and you only need a little bit and it goes a long way. I'm gonna do 7 squirts. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, we're gonna roll up our meatballs, and we are going to put them on our baking sheet to throw in the oven. And the reason I bake these is because I am a young professional millennial who is out in New York City hustling. I work 7 days a week. I have like 5 or 6 jobs. Ain't got time for that. I gotta get this done. So this is a great way to multitask, because this is gonna be in the oven while I make the sauce. All right, I'm gonna give this a quick spray so it doesn't stick. I am going to use this tablespoon to get like a rounded scoop. That's about the size I like, and roll it up. I recommend using a measuring tool to do this because it's really nice for them to cook evenly if they're the same size. Okay, I made 19 meatballs. That's like approximately what you're gonna get out of it. These are going in the oven at 400 degrees for 17 minutes. That's your magic number. Okay, they're in. So, since we're multitasking here, we are gonna move over to our tomato sauce. So during those 17 minutes, you can make a sauce in 15 minutes, easy, and I'm gonna show you. These are the only ingredients I'm using. I know, right? Tomato, onion, garlic. First, we're gonna do the garlic the same way. To dice an onion, cut slits in here. You wanna make sure the butt of the onion is intact, and then you're gonna cut it across this way. This is going in the same pot that we used before because I'm all about less dishes. While that is going, we're gonna cut up our tomatoes, and this can also be a really rough dice. It's all gonna get blended up. I'm gonna add these to the pan once the onion becomes a little translucent after just a couple of minutes. We're gonna cook it for as long as you have. If you have 5 minutes, cook it for 5 minutes. If you have 10 minutes, great. Do not forget, salt, 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 salt. Whoop. Here's what this mixture will look like. We are gonna mix it right up. Such an important part of cooking is tasting. I'm just gonna grab a little, make sure everything's balanced. So good. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt because it's my favorite. Boop, boop. Okay, sauce is ready. Meatballs are ready. Spaghetti squash is ready. The last thing we have to do is scrape out the insides. Careful, this is gonna be hot. We're gonna scrape out the insides so it looks like spaghetti. Ha ha ha, look at that. And like I told you, I'm gonna season this afterwards, adding some salt, a little olive oil, and pepper. We are ready to put this together. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit of parsley. Yes. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love this. The meatballs are tender, they're juicy, and the tomato sauce is sweet and tangy from those tomatoes. And while this is not your traditional spaghetti and meatballs, this is a completely different dish that stands on its own. It's light, it's fresh, and it looks kind of fancy. So that's what I like about it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to see you next time. I feel like I'm going into battle. Oh my God. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. You got this. I'm almost done.